Hey everyone, I'm Renee Flores Jr. I'm your host for After Duty Hours podcast, and I'm bringing you episode 3. As always, this podcast is not affiliated with Ramstein Air Force Base, any U.S. military branches, or the U.S. government. Now, as we were editing through the recent episode, we noticed that we lost the first minute of audio, and this episode just meant a lot to us to where that 1 minute of audio was not gonna make us scrap the whole episode. Now I know it's a long episode, an hour and 30 minutes, but I feel like there's a lot of important stuff that was said in here and that could benefit everyone. It's one of my favorite episodes so far, and I just want to catch you up to speed of what was said before we begin. So, like I said, I'm your host, Renee Flores Jr., and our guest today is Davinelle Fields. Now, he goes by Dre. It comes from his middle name, Leandre, and we were just getting into the segment where he was just giving a background on, his hometown and why he joined the military and how he joined the military. So, again, sorry for the audio hiccup, but we're going to keep moving forward, and I hope you enjoy the episode. Thank you so much.
Just came about one day, one of my best friends from back in the day, he was like, let's take the ASVAB, because they had a buddy system in the Air Force.
Yeah.
So he's like, let's take the ASVAB, try to join the military,
What do you mean by like buddy system?
So in the buddy system, you can come in with one of your, like if you and someone go take the test at a time, you can apply for the buddy system, and you all can join together, and then they'll try to, I guess, they try to station you together. But I know you go through like basic training and everything together. So that's with the buddy system. So he told me about that. We tried to do that, and then I took the ASVAB, I got my scores back. And then I just sat around, and I was like, I had a job and stuff. So I was like, oh man, do I really want to join it? Talked to my mom, and she was like, you always want to go around and get away from here. So she was like, maybe you should join. So yeah, I joined, and 10 years later, here I am.
Was the job that you're working right now your first option?
Oh no, it's probably like my fifth.
Yeah, I think there was around the same too. I literally got I scored, what is it, like 4 subjects in the ASVAB.
Yeah, 4. Yeah.
The M was the mechanical one, whatever. That's literally the lowest score I had.
Same. Yeah,
it's like 47, and then to become what I am now, it says the minimum score you need 47. I was like, they probably gave me those points because I didn't know what I was answering in those sections.
It's kind of crazy because I had a conversation with one of my friends not too long ago, and we were talking about the recruiting for the Air Force, and we were like, I think the Air Force would be so better off, which I know is hard to do now, if they pair people with jobs like, that their scores reflect, reflected, that I think the Air Force would be better off like that. Because, you think about a lot of people, like it's a good question you asked about what was it, what did it rank? Because I think a lot of people, especially in vehicle maintenance, they get jobs that they really didn't want, But I think if they paired the jobs with what people actually like, or what they had degrees in and stuff like that, I think people would be more, excited.
Efficient. It wouldn't feel like a job.
Exactly, yeah. It would be something they actually like to do. So I think people would be happier, to be at work and be in that field because it's something they actually really wanted to do.
And ultimately kind of propelled like the Air Force mission. Like everyone's just proficient at their job because they're good at it, they love it, and stuff like that. Yeah, that I didn't really know that was gonna take a turn that way, but appreciate you. How old did you say you were?
32.
Nice. Shout out to all the 30-year-olds.
Yes, sir.
I'm getting there. I'm like 3 years away. Oh my. How is it?
It was cool,
It doesn't feel any difference. I feel like you're still you're probably like more in a prime than I am.
What's crazy? So
look at this guy.
I used to always say, I think the best I ever felt was maybe like 25, because I never used to be, I ain't say never, but I didn't have a lot of injuries and stuff like that. Yeah. So I have had injuries in the midst between coming to 30, 32, but I do feel great, like I feel great. Like I learned a lot, especially like
your mobility's probably good.
Yes, that's what it is. So mobility and stretching has helped me a lot, So of course that leads to better blood flow, and
mine is
your muscles getting like a little stretched out and stuff like that. So it helps.
Mine is totally chalked. I mean, I was on the first episode, I was talking about how I broke my arm twice and my leg twice. Yeah. So I still got a rod and screws in there. Like you could feel the top of the screw like it's a hexagon or whatever. Yeah. And yeah, I could definitely feel when I squatted, because I got really big whenever I was in a wheelchair, because all I was doing was like bad stuff and eating snacks. Yeah. And like I swear there was one night I was like, I feel so sluggish, like, and I'm only like 19, and that's when I started going to the gym whenever I was able to walk again. I didn't really take good physical therapy, which I think really messed me up in the long run because I stopped showing up. So I wasn't doing the correct, I wasn't really exercising with my leg. I remember they told me to like do my belt to like mess with the front of the toes, pull, and then like pull from the heel.
That'll help build your Achilles too,
Yeah, and I remember doing squats even like maybe like last year, and I was just like, man, going down, like I could feel it. And so that's why I say your mobility is important when working out.
It really is. Yeah. And I didn't know that for a long time. You know, I used to like, so I'm gonna live like I started lifting weights in 2019, seriously. I started lifting weights 2019, you know, and for like at least 2 years, I knew nothing about mobility. I was just like, I'm finna go lift weights, and then when I'm done, I'm gonna go home, you know?
Yeah.
And then someone put me on, one of my boys, he used to coach me in powerlifting. He put me on mobility. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll try it, you know? And it makes a huge difference, man. Like, still powerlifting is kind of brutal because you lifting heavy all the time, so it kind of hurts the joints a little bit, you know, but the mobility helps it. So, you know, your muscles get the opportunity to be stretched out to heal, you know? But, you know, I think a lot of people sleep on mobility, but it is definitely a game changer.
Yeah. Well, before we get into the gym, I kind of want to backtrack to about do you have any kids?
Oh yeah, I have one daughter. Her name's Chloe. She's my dog. Yeah, my dog. Shout out to Chloe.
Yeah, how is that? Because I mean, you've heard the news. You know, I'm expecting. It's my firstborn, so it's like I'm kind of nervous. Like I don't know what to expect, and I know people are always saying like you can never really be ready for it. So like I just kind of want to hear your experience of like maybe that finding out the beginning when she was born, like how it felt. Like I don't know.
I know for me personally, I used to, so growing up I was a person I didn't want kids. I was like, I don't want a kid.
Yeah.
But
that's usually how it happens.
Yeah, so I didn't want kids.
Those people get kids.
Oh yeah, we do. And her mom told me, you know, like she was pregnant, you know, because I was on my way from Ramstein to Korea, and she told me she was pregnant, and so like kind of then, you know, it kind of changed for me. And then I went back home for the birth while I was in Korea, like a mid tour, and man, just like seeing that, you know, just being a part of the birth, you know, cutting the umbilical cord.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah, I was there. So just like being a part of it was like, yo, this is awesome, you know. So and then just, you know, like me seeing the growth we've had together, you know, because she's almost 4, you know, and most people that know me like know how passionate I am about her, you know. So you won't necessarily be ready, but it's a journey for sure though. You know, like you just got to be.
It's like an unconditional love. It's just like as soon as they're born.
Yes, it's a journey, man. But the love triumphs everything, you know. So long as you love and you care for the child, you know, like because most kids, I think sometimes as parents. So me and one of my friends had a discussion recently, and it was about you know, like you growing up and your parents work so much, you know, but they always think they're trying to provide for you. You know, like what they think. They like, oh, I'm trying to do all this work to provide for you. But as a kid, they really don't care about that. They just want that time with you.
Time. Yeah, they want that time with you. Makes sense.
Yeah, so I would say like, man, just make sure you give them that time. Cause like with me, like everybody knows I love the gym too. But when it comes to Chloe, the gym I don't go to the gym. You know,
priorities.
Every now and then, me and her go to the gym together. You know, if it's like a time where, you know, I know the gym will be empty. So, you know, like I don't have to police her so much, but most of the time I just like, I'm not going to go to the gym on the weekends. I wait till I take her back home on Sundays because I get her like every 2 weekends. And other than the times that I take leave during the week or 4 days, I get a little extra time, you know. But most of the time it's every 2 weekends, and I just don't go to the gym at that time. But kids really just make sure you're giving that time, man. They're giving that time, giving that love, you know, being present. Like that's what matters the most, you know, because as they grow up, kids. And it's a crazy thing, like me, like studying a little bit of mental health, like especially with girls, they parent, well, both girls and boys, you know, growing up, but like with girls, you know, like people always talk about dating, girls dating and stuff, but a lot of their dating comes from, you know,
the image of their father.
The image of their father, you know.
Yeah.
So you know, like
I see that.
Yeah. So that's why, you know, like I don't want to be that overprotective father, you know, but I want to give my daughter love, you know, while she's young, so she see,
show her what love is, what you can expect from I don't know, a responsible, mature
male.
male.
Yeah. So I just want to give her that love, so she can see for herself what love is, so she not overwhelmed when it's something that's not what it is.
Yeah, when
it
it's just what the world created it to be is just wishy-washy and just like
for sure. For sure. So I think just be present, bro. Be present, show love, and don't try to be, don't try to be perfect. Like, don't try to be perfect, and, correct her with love and everything. Like, my daughter, she messes up, I don't fuss at her. I don't, try to spank her or anything, I tell her, like, it's okay. When she cries, I tell her it's okay to cry,
Yeah,
and
I heard about that stuff. I mean, like, there's a fine line of, like, discipline and it being healthy.
Yeah.
Because you love your daughter. Yeah. Correction is...
It's essential, man. It's essential.
It's just depending on how you can handle it, But, I mean, like... doing her hair and stuff like that.
I use YouTube to learn how to do her hair.
YouTube?
YouTube. So YouTube is goated. So y'all YouTube. Have any issues, look up YouTube. It'll show you how to do some hair or whatever, And it's crazy because my daughter's mom, which is my ex-wife, she's a hairdresser, so like compared to me doing her hair versus her mom doing her hair, it's like totally different, And my daughter loves Elsa. Like so she loves Frozen Elsa. And she always tell me like, oh, Papa,
that one.
Yeah, like Queen Elsa and her sister Anna. So she always tell me about them. So, she always wants her hair braided, And it's crazy because I see her mom braid hair. I'm like, yo,
she's over here like professional already. Like,
I'm like yo, this is pristine, And then she comes to my house and, I try to do her hair and stuff. She's like, oh, Papa, I want Elsa. I'm like, okay. So I braid it and it doesn't look like nothing. It probably looks like. But she still likes it. So happy, bro. And that's all it is.
And that's that going back to you're just spending that time. She's just appreciating you being there present, giving her that attention that she, wants and deserves. You know?
For sure. So that's all it's about, man. And kids are so easy to please, bro. Yeah. Like it's insane. Like she's so easy to please. Yeah. And it's hard. I know for me initially having it was so hard for me to say no. So like we go anywhere and she wants something. Like, oh, okay, get it. But now I have to like tell her no sometimes, and I had to explain to her like, Mama. Because I always call her Mama. And like, Mama, I can't give you everything because if I give you everything, you won't be appreciative of stuff. I have, the crazy part about it, I have harder, which is crazy because she like 3.5. So I don't even think she understands it fully. But she be sitting there listening to me like she understands it, And we have like deep conversation. It's just me about like loving her and stuff like that, Like even when we had an instance like maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago where she was at her mom's house, and her mom was on the phone. Me and her was on FaceTime. Her mom was there too, and she was like poking her mom's face or something like that, just playing, Her mom told her to stop and she didn't. And her mom was like, yo, I told you to stop. So I had to correct her and I was like, yo, Mama, if somebody asks you to stop, you should stop, because if somebody was doing it to you and you wanted them to stop, you would want them to stop. And I was like, kind of respecting one another. And I was like, I only tell you this, And she gets to a point, she hates when I say something to her, like when she's doing something wrong, but she knows when she's doing something wrong,
Yeah.
And I was they hate it, And I was like, I'm only telling you this because I love you. And I was like, you understand? And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, I love you, so I got to correct you, Because I don't want to raise, like I love spoiling my daughter, but I don't want to raise her to be entitled, That's the thing, because I think there's a lot of entitled people out here, and I don't want her to be a part of that, Like I want her to have respect, because one of my biggest things I always tell her, be kind. Like that's one of my, because everybody always tell her, oh, she's so pretty and stuff like that, but I always tell her be kind, be kind, because they're gonna take, like if you pretty and you kind, you even prettier, Yeah. Even if you're not so attractive, but if you kind, you attractive to me personally, because I think your character tells a lot more than what people see, So that's why I always tell her, be kind, because anybody can tell you you're pretty, but if you kind in the world and your character shows that, even when no one, because your character is who you are when no one watching, So what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Are you trying to make people better, or am I trying to make the plate, like things around you better, or are you just, manipulating people? And I want to make her manipulative,
Yeah.
So that's my thing.
You mentioned your ex-wife. Like, how's that relationship with her?
Oh, we get along great, co-parenting, amazing, so like,
I think that's important too. It
is, man.
Because it's like, if it comes to that point, like the center focus of the relationship should be the daughter at that point. And so like, if people can understand that fact, and I think that is important. And, so kudos that's how it is. To the maturity of both of you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So we get along real good, and it's dope because anytime I want my daughter, I just hit her up like, yo, even if it's not my weekend, I'll be like, yo, I want to come get Chloe, go get some ice cream. She's like, okay, cool,
Yeah.
The focus is making sure that my that our daughter is, like solid, you know. So like a lot of times, like I tell people, like even if she asks me for something, if I know it for my daughter, it's like no second guessing to it, because like essentially whatever, whatever, like this how it is, like I got to the point where I was like, you know what, if my daughter mom happy, she makes sure my daughter happy. So I kind of think about it like that, and it's very selfless, because you need a kid need both parents as much as they can have them, maybe not in the same household, but if they can have both parents like putting that effort to help raise that child, I think the child goes out real good from that. So that's how we work. That's how we work it out.
Yeah, I would like. I remember I caught you a few times spending time with your daughter. You're always with her. Real quick before we go into the next one, you have a dog, right?
I do have a dog.
Man, I love that dog.
Oh yeah, Zoe. Yeah, Zoe crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I was petting her in the shop, and I was like, "Holy moly, man! She got so much fur coming up
all the time, yo." So yeah, she's a sweet girl. She been shedding for a while, but she finally like slowing down on her shed. She's about to turn
German Shepherd, right?
Yeah, German Shepherd Belgian male mix. She's about to turn.
Best dogs. I got that's coming from 3 cats that I own, but we'll see how it goes. One thing I wanted to cover before we go into the next topic is, what about kind of your family and friends? How well are you still connected with them? And like the discussion of have they ever like came to visit you and stuff like that?
So I'm very close to my family. So I have 2 brothers, one older, one younger. I'm closer with my parents than I am with my brothers, which is kind of crazy, So I talk to my parents weekly, especially because they like to FaceTime my daughter.
Yeah.
Some of my friends back home, that I grew up with, I probably stay in contact with maybe 3 or 4 of them, Yeah. But nobody ever came to visit, So my first time here,
no one since. How long you said you've been overseas? Not including your 2 short tours.
So in Germany, I've been in Germany for almost. I've been in Germany for 7 years so far.
No one has came to visit.
Yeah. So
I think that's where it comes. I've seen like posts where it's like it's a sensitive topic, but it's like we love our family, we love our friends, but it's like the process to go back is not only it's taking leave, it's very expensive, especially if it's not just you. I mean, I would have to pay double because me and my wife are gonna go. So it's like there's that fine line of like, I have a place, how about you come visit over here? At least you don't have to like pay for a hotel. Yeah, sure, it's the same over there. They're not gonna make you pay like a hotel or an Airbnb, but I mean, people think about that, and people have gotten strayed towards the side where it's like, I'm not gonna go visit y'all come visit me. Don't it's more convenient for you to come visit me than me to go over there. I mean the argument's there. You said so far no one has came.
No one, no. Yeah. So my first time I used to always tell people like, yo, you should come visit. Like I even had to the point where like I was like a senior airman, A1C. And I told people, I was like, yo, you get your passport, I'll pay for your flight over. And they didn't even get their passport, like, so I was like,
that's
okay.
the least you could do.
Yeah, I like, bro, and I was like, yo, this lasts 10 years. And like, dude, you're paying $14 a year for a passport, And people just didn't get it. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to ask anyone to come anymore. My mom, so my dad, he's funny. Like, he's honest though, but he already told me.
He
so
said, nah, I ain't going.
he was like, if I can't drive there, I ain't coming. So yeah, no, he told me. So I'm like, okay, at least I know
Tesla,
he ain't coming.
Hey, Tesla coming soon with that underwater car. So
I ain't trusting that. I ain't trusting that. Submarine, no. But yeah, he told me straight up. But my mom told me, she was like, my mom wants to come though. So she was actually supposed to come this time, but I went home, but she didn't come because at the day I was coming home.
I'm sorry. Could you just imagine your dad in a submarine?
Oh, that would be crazy, bro. That would be insane.
Okay, sorry.
That would be insane.
That was just in my thought.
But this dude crazy.
Okay.
But she was supposed to come this time, because me and Chloe went home in April, and she was supposed to come back, but she didn't because my great uncle, it was his 100th birthday. So that makes sense, The man 100, that's something to celebrate. That's a blessing, 100 years, like.
So that conflicted.
Yeah, so it conflicted, but I'm going home again, and so that. Well, I'm saying
how many times have you been home?
Maybe like 6 since I've been in. Yeah, because I went 3 years without going home and all. Yeah, but we're going home in November. Me and Chloe going home in November again. And
has she gone back
Oh yeah. So
Okay.
like since I've been back in Germany, she goes home with me every time.
Oh, okay, cool.
So my parents are paying for us to come home this next time.
Oh, okay,
so
cool.
I guess they gonna
that is convenient.
That's convenient. Like super convenient. It's like $1,500 I don't got, man. You know.
Yeah.
So I'm saying long as like I think my parents want us to come home twice a year. You know, which is dope because when I was in Honduras, I didn't get my cot, and apparently they came out with this thing where like they trying to reimburse people they cot. You know, so I get a free flight home then, and then I just IPCOT in Germany, so next year I get another IPCOT, so I had 2 cot flights, which would be dope, you know. So that's 2 free times I can go home with Chloe, you know. But you know, like I don't really stress about it no more, you know. Like people coming, you know. I think it's enough good people around me here, you know. And if people really wanted to see me, they would come see me. But now when I go home, you know, I don't make the effort to go see nobody, except for like the elders. Like I go see my elders and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
For the young people, I don't go see them. I was like, if you can't meet me at the gym or meet me at my parents' house, you won't see me.
I think that's a little bit about like when I went home, my cousin and I got our motorcycle license, and I've been riding dirty before like the military, but ever since I got in the military, I never touched my bike, and I really missed it. Yeah. And so like he's been riding way longer than me, and he was like, "I'll take the BRC with you." So I went to Houston, and we took the BRC. This guy, he understood because he was like. Because I was like, I want to like group ride with everybody. Because before I went to BMT, I rode with a bunch of his boys. Because I don't have like a little posse on the bike. But like, it was really cool. Like these guys were like on some big bikes. And like, I don't know, it was really fun to where I told him, I was like, hey, like, we should do it again before I leave back to Germany. And he was just like, let us know when you got time. And so it's like he really was working around my schedule because he understood like, you know, I wanted to see family. We were gonna go to like Galveston. I'm not shouting out Galveston because that water is what, you're green? Yeah, that Galveston water, man.
That muddy water.
It's very different. But yeah, it was a fun time, and I really did appreciate him actually helping me to kind of not feel stressed about going to see everybody. Yeah. So
I'm saying it's a good thing, you know. Like for me, like I just made it my own, man. I'm like, yo, I'm not,
because 30 days flies.
Yeah, oh my goodness, bro, it goes so fast, bro. And I was only home for 18 days, and I'm like,
the first week you're like, man, I'm gonna be here forever, and then the next week you're coming back, you're like, dang, I go back in 1 week.
Yeah, it's insane, bro. It goes too fast.
Yeah, but let's talk about your lifestyle, your gym life. I wanna ask, how often do you go to the gym?
So I go,
or do you even lift?
I don't know. Maybe I don't lift, but I go to the gym maybe like 5 or 6 times, at least 5 or 6 times a week. You know, maybe like 2-3 hours in the gym. So that's warm up, stretching, cardio. Lifting.
That's a Lord of the Rings movie right there.
That facts. That's a long movie.
Yeah. So what's your all-time favorite workout, and like why?
It would probably have to be either legs or back. So my back has been growing a lot. So it's been growing and getting more cut. So I really like doing back. Legs just my favorite because of course I used to be a power lifter, so I was always doing
that's where a lot of the power comes from.
Squat, bench, deadlift. So I used to love doing squats. So but I do know, like, so today I have to work out shoulders, and I used to hate shoulders, but now they becoming so like such a great workout to do. You don't have to do a lot for them, but I don't know, like if you have nice shoulders. And if you have nice shoulders, it make your waist look smaller. So
that triangle, the upside down triangle formation. The Dorito formation.
So that's what I'm working on. But so like,
what flavor though?
Cool Ranch.
Oh, okay, cool. I like Cool Ranch.
Yeah, Cool Ranch.
A lot of people hate on that, but they sleep.
They slap, bro. They slap.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like so like really I don't have of course, like I said, back and squats would probably be my top 2. I really don't have one I don't like though. Maybe abs. I hate abs.
Oh yeah.
I hate abs.
Yeah, they be making you scream. It's like that 3 minutes or 1 minute is like super long. Remember I did the 3 minutes with the plank?
I know. Like, man, this dude crazy.
I'll tell you. I mean, even here, like I went through a phase where I was on it. Yeah. And so like I was like, let me see if I could do this plank.
I remember that.
I did 3 minutes and 5 seconds, and without even a correction.
I know.
But they were like saying, make a correction, you know what I'm saying? They give you one warning, you have one warning. But like I didn't utilize it because I had my headphones in. I was kind of it was like I was listening to Till I Collapse by Eminem, that Modern Warfare 2 trailer song. Dope trailer too. I was gonna say I like workouts other than those main compound workouts, the deadlift, the squat, the bench press, because it kind of switched things up for me. So back then when I went, I think I told you one time, but I was looking at other workouts and I did the good mornings.
Oh boy, they tear your hamstrings up.
Yeah, it woke me up next morning.
Yeah. They tear your hamstrings apart, man.
Yeah, I remember I started off light because it kind of felt weird, and I think kind of the key points was to keep it straight back, but focus on shooting your waist and your
hips,
buttocks
back,
all the way back and kind of like lean forward. And I don't know, it was just a fun workout because it was different, but it definitely targeted the hamstrings a way lot harder than any other compound workout because you're not really hitting that single one. But yeah, that's I would say that's one of my favorites. Weirdly enough, well, I would say one of my favorites that is peculiar. It's different.
Yeah.
But why did you even start going to the gym?
So yeah, man, that was 2019. So 2018, in November 2018, I left. I left Germany to go to Korea. And so when I was in Germany my first time, all I did was play football. You know, we had traveling flag football, you know, and that's all I used to do. But when I got to Korea...
Real quick, I'm actually going to cut the video where this guy on the first play of the intramural football.
Oh, yeah.
This guy, not him, but the other team, security forces?
Yeah, security forces, yeah.
Another security forces call out, but he threw the football right to this guy, to the opposing team. I'm gonna post it on top of this so y'all can check that out. Yeah. I still have that video, so.
Oh, that was fun. But,
football?
Yeah, so we, when I got to Korea, you know, there wasn't any football, you know. So my best friend, who's currently here too, you know, he came to Korea too, and we were like, "So we can't play football," because we used to play football together. That's how we knew each other. We're like, "Man, let's start going to the gym," and yeah, we started working out in 2019 January, and since then, you know, it became a lifestyle for me, you know.
Yeah. So you've been consistent since you haven't had any of those like vacations.
Yeah.
You've had?
No. So like the only thing.
Would you say you've always progressed and not backtracked?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so that's the important thing. A lot of people progress and then they backtrack and then they do it all over again.
Yeah. So the only time I had a hiccup,
like me,
the only hiccup was COVID. You know, we had 2 months where we couldn't live.
Yeah.
That was the only time
like
I didn't
home
live.
workouts or whatever.
So yeah, they had a Connex and you do pull-ups and stuff. So that's all I did, pull-ups and push-ups, and you know that's all I did.
Calisthenics or whatever.
Calisthenics, and then they opened the gym. So I remember in Honduras, they opened the gym. Only 35 people could go into the gym. You know? So the gym opened from 5 in the morning and it closed at 9. So I used to go at 5 in the morning. I used to wake up at going 5 in the morning, and then when I got off work, I would go again at like 5:30 in the evening. So I do 2 a days.
So you didn't have a trouble staying consistent?
Oh no, not at all.
So why was that? Just for like any of the listeners kind of struggling, because I mean we know like you can go to the gym for like 2 weeks straight.
Yeah.
And like good job, but how well can you keep it going? Because it isn't like you could do 2 weeks of working out, let's say 5 days a week, so 10 workouts, and then like stop for another week, and it's like you really did nothing.
Yeah.
Because you really got to build towards that progress, and it isn't until like maybe a month you start feeling, you know, the effects. Not only like I wouldn't say you see it first, but you feel it first.
Yeah.
You start feeling like you got so much energy. You feel less slouchy. You maybe take less naps.
Yeah.
It's like the energy in you is going.
Endorphins, yeah. But I think a lot of people get on to the point, like they say we live in a microwave culture, you know? Like a lot of people want to see results. They want to do something today and see the results tomorrow, but it doesn't work like that, you know? Like for me.
Especially in working out.
For me, man, like just seeing like so many people thought I was like in shape in January, you know? So I see myself, I look at pictures on my phone from January until now, and it's a huge difference, you know? Yeah. But you can't see it every day, you know? It takes time. Yeah. It takes time to see it, you know? So I think people just have to, you know, figure out what they want and stick to it, you know? Like if you want to be shredded, you know, you can't think you're going to get shredded in 2 weeks, you know? You gotta think like maybe like 16, 24 weeks, you know, you can get shredded, you know? But you can't, everything is just not going to happen so fast, you know? Yeah. And I think people also need somebody to hold them accountable to it too, you know? Like for me, it was kind of crazy because when I used to go to the gym, I'm a very social person. I love to talk, you know? Yeah. So, you know, I go to the gym, I'm always talking to somebody. So like even now, everybody knows, like if you follow me on social media, you know I go to the gym like every day, every single day.
3 hours.
Yeah, for a long time, you know? I go to the gym every single day, but people that don't follow me on social media that know me from the gym, they'll see me and they'll be like, yo, you been good? I ain't seen you in the gym in a while, you know? And I'd be like, oh, I used to go at mornings, now I'm going at in the evening. Because it be something in my schedule that'll shift, you know, like, that I need to
have to adapt.
Yeah, I had to prioritize something else, you know? So I'd be like, okay, I had to shift my gym schedule from going at 4 in the morning to maybe like right after work, you know? So people be like, you know, oh, I haven't seen you. And, you know, those are the people you need, you know, like, oh, I haven't seen you. You've been good, you know? How's your workouts and stuff going, you know? You need that type of thing because if you don't have an accountability partner, it's kind of, I ain't gonna say it's hard, but a lot of people fail in holding themselves accountable, you know? So if you got somebody that can do that for you, it kind of helps you stay into the game, you know?
Yeah, accountability. So you're saying accountability helps you stay consistent.
For sure.
But you got to make sure that person holding you accountable is
consistent.
It's consistent.
It's consistent. Yeah,
and already kind of at that level. So, I mean, find a mentor.
Yeah. Facts.
And people want to build other people. I mean, you know, like, I mean, wouldn't it be cool to kind of, I wouldn't say accolades, but like you have like people under you that started and it just feels good that you help push this person towards the right direction so you can already hold somebody accountable if they, you know, wanted to reach out to you.
I know when I was small too, when I was super small, I used to always go and meet the big dudes. Like those are the dudes I want to be like, so I want to go talk to them, you know, like, I just like, like I see them squatting, so I'm like, man, you strong, you know, like that was a great squat or something like that, you know, just compliment them and then they more like, you know, like open to like have a conversation with you and stuff like that. So that's how I did when I was in Korea. Like I knew all the big dudes, like some of the dudes here, like I don't know, you know, his name Big Rob. Everybody call him Big Rob, but he was in Korea with me, you know. And
is that the guy with the 2 guns?
So he got
and by guns I mean like
he's super tall, but he was in Korea, you know, and I knew him from there, you know, and it's a few more people that I met throughout my career, like my boy Bump, you know. I met him in Korea. He's in Hawaii now. He was my powerlifting coach. You know, it's a few people, like all these people were stronger than me, bigger than me, you know, and I met all of them, you know, just because, you know, I see them doing stuff and I'm like, oh, I want to be like them, you know. And so I see them and some of them, like we had like close friendships with, you know, and they'll hold me accountable. Like, yo, you going to the gym today or something like that? And, you know, you don't really want to tell a person, you ain't going to the gym, you know, like they ask you because, you know.
Because it's like, why?
Yeah, why?
What are you doing?
And then you got to come up with some excuse, you know, and you know, excuses essentially, like, I just don't want to go.
Yeah, because it's like you just rather stay home, watch Netflix, I guess. But anyway, so that's very important. So staying consistent, finding that mentor, getting that accountability, like, will help you be consistent.
For sure.
So other than that, does even like having a schedule matter? Like, you know, like planning stuff out? Because like I remember I watched a video whenever I got started. He said things I wish I would have known before I started going to the gym is actually like planning out your workouts. That way when you get to the gym, you're just not like picking up everything and just like everywhere. You're not doing an all body workout. Not saying that's bad, but like if you're targeting specific things, like it's important to have that plan throughout the week. Like I'm gonna push, pull, or like some people do like push, pull, abs, and some people just don't say push pull. They just, you know, like I'm gonna do chest and tries, squats and abs, you know, the generic kind of stuff. So having that plan, do you kind of like have that plan?
So I do have a plan. Yeah, I do. I have a plan about everything I'm gonna do. You know, in some of my workouts, like say I'm doing chest, you know, like I have a set list of things I do, but on some of those I have this or that, you know. So maybe for 3 weeks I did this. Maybe for the next 3 weeks I want to do that.
That's another thing. He is the importance of switching it up. That way you don't get bored.
You don't get bored. You don't want to get bored. So I never really changed my main lift. So I'm always doing like incline, like heavy incline. Maybe most of the time dumbbell because dumbbells isolate.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm always doing that, and then I go to like Smith machine incline press. You know, just to like tire the muscles out and get some strength. Okay. And then like for my accessories, like flies, maybe I do dumbbell flies for a few weeks, and then maybe I go do cable flies, and then maybe I do machine fly for a few weeks, you know. I just switch up the variances because they target different, depending on where your elbow's sitting, where your wrist sitting, you know, stuff like that, you know. And I just try to switch it up every now and then, just so I don't get bored of my workout. And then I can target other areas that probably were lacking while I was doing a certain other thing, you know. And another thing I've been doing recently, probably over the last 4 or 5 weeks, is I ain't gonna say every, but most of my sets, I have the last set it go to failure, you know, or I have a last set is a drop set every time, you know, just to try to tire myself out just to strengthen that muscle, you know, so things like that. But if you don't have a schedule, it's kind of hard to know what you're going to do, you know, because if you can't keep going in without a schedule, you're just randomly picking up things, like you mentioned earlier, you just randomly picking up things. And if you don't
it's like you're taking forever too.
Yeah. And the thing about a schedule like this, think about going in without a schedule. If it's something you see that you probably need to do and you don't want to do it, you're probably not going to do it because it's not scheduled for you.
Yeah.
So, like, even for me, like, this was crazy. I was talking to my boy last night, and I told him, I was doing squats the other day, but I really didn't want to do squats because it was my hamstring day, I think. Mm-hmm. And I really don't do squats on my hamstring day, but I was like, oh, I want to do squats, But when I got to the gym, I was like, oh, I really don't want to do squats. And I told myself, I was like, don't chicken out, go do the squats, So I went and did them, and I was telling him, I started, my first set was 315 and my second set was 405 and my third set was 425. And then after 425, I dropped down to 225 and it felt like paper, because I had went up so heavy, and I was able to rep out 225 until I was able to fail, But I was like, imagine the benefits I got from doing that. But what if I didn't do that,
Yeah.
So, like sometimes, having that schedule will, of course schedule change, but if you have a idea of what is set for you to do, you can at least go through it and do those things, And if you want to add something, cool, but, usually you won't limit yourself if you have a schedule.
Yeah, for sure. I think whenever I told you plenty of times that I used to go to the gym. Mm-hmm. It's been a while. I want to get back into it. I'm thinking, once I don't know, maybe in a month, like my schedule will kind of like a lot of things on my plate right now. So in about a month, a lot of things should be like more organized and I can make that time. But yeah, Lifetime Fitness, man, I paid like $70 a month for that, so I was dedicated to that, and I actually got to send you a picture. I was like, man, I was in there, man. So I kind of miss it for sure. I just want to say real quick before we move on to the next segment. I remember, shout out to all the couples that send each other TikToks throughout the week and then watch it together. Like, you know what I'm saying? It accumulates like 100 TikToks and y'all just scroll together. That's what me and my wife do. But there was one that I specifically saw that I sent to her, and it just like, it's kind of cool. Like it's like that would you rather, and it has like a red side and a blue side, and it shows you like two options, and it'll show you the percentage of how many people pick that compared to the other one. And these are actually really good. One of them said home gym or home theater. And it showed like a picture and stuff like that. So like it even makes it look cooler to pick one because you already have an idea. And my wife initially said home theater, and then it kind of surprised me because she backtracked and said, home gym. So I was like, dang, home gym. Because I know that she's been wanting to work out, but the thing that she's always told me is that she just feels like she's going to go to the gym and do something wrong and kind of be made fun of. And like, I know the gym culture, and I know there's two sides. There are. And like, I know a lot of people are there for the same goal. And like those people that are motivating each other, to say what's up, the fist bump, like the chat, like motivational type, they're there. And then there's the other ones that are the new me, a new year, new me, go for like 2 weeks and then disappear. And because I've seen videos where like some people are, they're doing ridiculous squats for these like thrusting, thrusting on the way up. And it's like, instead of making fun of that dude, you can help him because maybe he don't know. And like, maybe, I'm not saying that would be my wife, but like, she don't know. And so like, that's what's scaring her away from going to the gym. And that's why a home gym, it was appealing to her because she can learn maybe without being judged. So.
I think, so honestly, I think the gym culture could be, at times it can be very toxic, But there are some very good people,
for sure,
around,
no question.
But my thing is this, like, I feel like sometimes when like sometimes we don't even know, who we disregarding at a time. Like we never know who we could be, pushing down at a moment. And, so many people are missing out on a good blessing because the person that they ridiculing, posting online to get
it's just trying to better themselves.
It could be someone like meant to help them better their situation, So I think we got to be careful, And bro, like nobody perfect. Like even me, I remember. Like, so me, I focus a lot on form now. So, like, I watch a lot of YouTube. Like, if you come over my house...
So, you're the corrector in the gym?
I try to be. But look,
but it's all in good, like...
Respectfully, I ask someone if I can help them, Like, I ask them, like, yo, could I show you something? And if they say no, I go on about my business. But if they say yes, I try to explain it to them. But I'm not finna like disrespect nobody and take a video of them doing something wrong and post it, you know? Because I remember
I feel like a lot of people would be open to it too. I mean, I would never reject anybody.
Most people are pretty open to it. I don't think I really had someone say me no. I really don't think I had, you know? Yeah. But it's just me offering advice, you know? But if you come to my house, I'm always watching like C-Bomb or I'm watching some type of bodybuilding guy all the time on YouTube, you know? Because I want to get my form right, you know? Yeah. You know, and I can't be correcting people if they seeing me, you know, like doing stuff wrong, you know? So they're kind of like hypocritical from my point of view. Maybe maybe I do something real good, you know, and maybe I could correct people on that, and, you know, maybe I do something wrong, somebody can correct me, you know? But I remember one time, man, it's probably like 2018, 2017. It was like when I was first trying to go to the gym, you know, and I was doing some squats, you know, and I probably had like 315, maybe something on the squat, you know, and I didn't go low enough. And the dude came up to me, you know, and he was like, yo, you probably need to lower your weight so you can go lower, you know. And I was like, well, I can't go lower because my knee hurt. And he was like, okay, we probably need to lower the weight, you know. And at a time, you know, I took that kind of offensive, but I was like, man, I can lift this, you know. But then it came to the point like longevity, you know. Like a lot of people, you know, like, think about longevity. You know?
What did it say? You activated it more, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it would have been more beneficial to me too. But also, if you do the wrong thing long enough, it's gonna hurt. And if you do the right thing long enough, it works effectively, you know. Yeah. So like whatever you do consistently for a long time, it takes over, you know. So
if this guy deadlifts, man.
Exactly. That's one thing. If you deadlift wrong for a long time, it's gonna have like bad
it's just like you're just gonna feel maybe lower back pain a lot,
you know. Yeah. Oh, also, if you want to learn how to deadlift, hit me up.
Yeah, this guy, you know, he posts like a deadlift. I remember you used to post like a deadlift like every day with a motivational quote. Yeah. It's great. Speaking about gym culture though, I know the gym culture maybe inspired you to create a business. Apparel that benefits gym goers to get that supply, especially locally. Yeah. So like, what is your business? What's the name? What does it mean? And does it stand for anything? And what does it mean to you?
Okay. Yeah. So my brand is called THECOMPAF. THECOMPAF. So it started as CAF. That's what most people know it as, CAF, you know, and that CAF comes from my daughter's initials. So her name is Davinelle Fields. CAF is Competition of Legends Fashion, you know, so same thing, you know. Essentially my goal is to like keep building it. So how the idea came about for me is so one of my friends, CJ, dude, a millionaire now. So he like one of my boys. So we used to play football here together. He got out. He was in the army. He got out of the army. You know, dude, like crazy amounts of money now. Yeah. But he came. He always comes over.
Made it, shout out.
Yeah, shout out to my boy Chris Johnson. But he comes over like once a year, and me and him hang out. You know. Mm-hmm. So he came over in 2022, 2021.
Yeah.
2021. No, 2022. He came over early 2022, and he was like, dang, bro, you getting big, you know? And because he was joking at me, he was like, are you still as fast as you used to be? And I'm like, no, I'm not as fast as I used to be, you know? But he was like, yo, you getting big. So he was like, let's meet up tonight, go smoke some hookah, you know? So we meet up, we go smoke some hookah. And this is like a Wednesday or Thursday, so it's like empty in the hookah bar, you know? But
super chill, like a movie, bro. Like,
so it was chill, you know?
Mob style, you know, the boss comes to.
So it was like super chill. And so we just sitting out having a conversation. He was like, yo, you go to the gym all the time. He was like, you know, you should start your own gym brand. He was like, worst come to worst, nobody buy anything, but you still got gym clothes. And I was like, yo, you got a good point. Yeah. But he told me this in like May. I didn't start start working on my brand until October because, you know, it was in my head so long that, oh man, maybe I can't do this, you know. Mm-hmm. So, you know, that's one of the biggest points of like having a brand is like, that's one of the any type of thing is just getting out of your own head. So it took me like 3 months to get out of my own head and just do it, you know.
Yeah.
But so far it's been good. Like it's a lot of support, you know. And so for me now, you know, it's just like me working on getting more products and stuff, you know, because my mistake was I put a lot of other things, you know, above my clothing brand, you know. Yeah. And so I have a lot of people always reaching out like, yo, when you gonna drop something else or when you gonna do this, you know. And I got something in the works right now, you know, but going forward, my only I ain't say my only focus, but one of my main focuses is, you know, building the brand like what it should be, because I have so much support, especially around this area.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
And in the States too, man. Like UK. You know, so
word of mouth. You know, that networking that you did at the gym, those people know people.
Oh yeah.
So when they bought their stuff, maybe their people were like, "Hey, where'd you get that?" Or like, "Hey, that looks cool."
Yeah, and I would say this, like if you got a business, something you're passionate about, go tell people about it. So like for my first when I first started calf, for like 2 weeks straight, 2 or 3 weeks straight, I went to the gym every time I had a workout. And if somebody with a tank top on, because my first thing I was dropping was like tank tops and hoodies. So I like, if I saw somebody with a hoodie on or a tank top, I was like, oh, hey, I got a clothing brand. We doing tank tops and hoodies. So like, you should follow it, you know?
Yeah.
That's all I was doing. I was like, yeah, I follow back, you know? And that's all I did, you know? And it started growing, you know, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
I'm a big fan of Shark Tank.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you, like, I get, whenever the sharks are going to, like, give their offer, I always guess the equity based on hearing the whole like pitch, and like whenever I get it right, like I'll be like, yo, Rebecca, I told you that you say that. And like she's not even paying attention, but like I don't know, I've learned a lot like in entrepreneurship. And one thing that you said that Mark Cuban loves is that go-getter mentality, because how Mark Cuban came up was to get money to start his business. He was going around selling products in his neighborhood, like knocking on every door. He convinced you to buy the product. I forgot what he was trying to sell. I don't want to say a vacuum, but it was like something. And like he told that person, I'll sell this for you, and that's how he built his brand. So whenever he hears somebody who is that go-getter on the show, doing what you do, like, that's how you're doing your advertising at first, is you're going to the customer, and I wouldn't say you have that no for an answer mentality. And I think that is an important aspect, is you got to make your business work, especially at the beginning, because so far the only employer of that business is you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you ought to be in the gap for right now.
So where can we find this? Like if you want to plug up an Instagram or something.
Like that. Check me out on Instagram at THECOMPAF, the Compaf. So you can check me out on Instagram and view it. It's probably going to be some people on there that you know, or some faces you've seen, especially if you go to the gym here. So yeah, check it out.
Awesome. What kind of things you say? I see you got a hat on. So
I got this hat. I got hoodies, which mostly are sold out. Shorts, women's sets, like short with tank tops and shorts and tank tops. Got regular shorts, joggers, and then I got a jumpsuit coming. So that's in the works.
Oh, so that's pretty cool. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
So business, what were some of the challenges of starting your business? Like, was being overseas a factor of starting kind of the business? Oh yeah. So of course in Germany you had to deal with customs. It's insane. So that's what you had to do. You had to go through and stuff.
Yeah. So you got to deal with customs anytime they ship a package to you. So I use Alibaba. So for me, like how I do it is so I go to Alibaba, I find what I want, and I get them to send me a sample, and if I like the quality of the product, then I can tell them to press forward with how I want it, But the thing about it, dealing with German customs, everything takes longer. So if I was to ship it to the States, if I did a bulk order and ship it to the States, it'd probably take a week. But whereas you come to Germany, it could be a week, and sometimes it could be 6 weeks. I had one time where I shipped something from the States to Germany. Yeah. I shipped it to my APO box, dude. And because the package went through, it's large, I had to go through custom. I shipped it from my parents' house to here. Yeah. And when I get here, all I see is I track the package, and I'm like, it's at the post office. So I call the post office. I'm like, yo, I don't get a notification about this package. And they're like, oh, this package is not here. And I'm like, where is it? They're like, it's in Frankfurt. Dude, this package was in Frankfurt for 3 months.
Wow.
Yes, 3 months. So German customs make it hard, but I would say don't let it discourage you. Like a couple times it has just almost discouraged me.
Yeah. 3 months is a long time.
It's a long time, bro. It's a long time, So you have to deal with German customs because compared to the States, it's a lot more efficient and faster to get your stuff. It's also a lot cheaper, So you had to spend a little bit more money out of pocket being here. I would say your biggest enemy is your own self, because there's a lot of times I wanted to quit,
Yeah.
But I have friends, in my corner, be like, yo, look how far you come, look what you've done so far. Don't quit,
just to keep you going.
So you need that encouragement too, And I would say, like most of my stuff came out of pocket, so I did mine where I wanted to order everything bulk. But I would say like if you're trying to, start it new, start your own business. If you don't have a whole lot of capital up front, I would say try to do print on demand.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. Like, what advice would you give someone starting a business? Like one to three things, or just three things. Like, what are those first steps? Yeah.
So for me, I would say try print on demand. So that would be amazing because you can build capital for your brand and stuff like that without using money in your pocket. I have done print on demand a little bit, but I really don't. I'd much rather have all my stuff myself so I can check it myself. But print on demand is a good avenue. Most people,
and you get. I mean, buying in that bulk of supply lowers the cost of the supply.
For sure, yeah. So yeah,
your margins will be bigger buying in bulk rather than print to sell.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. So that's one thing. Number two, I would say try to separate your bank accounts. So like have a business account, have your personal account.
Yeah, that's important.
Separate that so you have the capabilities to reinvest your money back into your business.
Until you're profitable until you can pay yourself.
Yeah. So I don't even pay myself. Like I've been doing this for over a year. I don't pay myself. Yeah. Every now and then I go get me a burger or something. Yeah. So like I work for a whole year and I get one burger.
Where though?
Five Guys, of course.
Oh yeah.
So
Five Guys.
It's a $7,000 burger.
I'm glad Five Guys tastes the same here.
Yeah. It's good though.
Like, man, I'm not gonna talk about any other place that's here in the APs, but Five Guys, even though it was expensive, I felt like I paid the same back in the States in a way.
You gotta take out a loan to get Five Guys.
Yeah. Gotta use that military star card.
It's expensive.
Max that out.
They're good though.
Yeah. So separate business accounts, you want to always keep reinvesting, and how important is it to keep doing that?
Oh yeah, because the more you invest, man, the more you can capitalize on getting things for your brand. You think about it like
that way. It's not coming from your personal bank account anymore.
So for me, I started with my personal bank account. But then you have to. After I built capital, I was able to just go into my account and buy other stuff. So it's important to like separate those to make sure that you not intermingling the funds. So you can reinvest and buy new things for your brand and spread it. Out.
Yeah, that's good. That's good advice. What about
Number three,
I
would say stay confident in yourself. It's times you're gonna get discouraged, but you got to look back to where you're from. Same with the gym and everything. You got to look back to where you started and look where you are now. Essentially you started with $0 in your brand, and now maybe you have $300. That's still progress. So
and it all goes back to what you said before. This is another one of those things that it's not microwave.
Oh, it's not.
It doesn't. You're not just a millionaire overnight.
Yeah.
It's a process because the competitive space, especially in apparel, is huge.
And the crazy thing about it is like most businesses quit after like 9 or 12 months. Most businesses just quit because it's a lot that goes into it, man. It's a lot of beans that go into it, but most of it mental.
Yeah.
You kind of start counting yourself out, but if you stick to it and you be like, okay, look if you keep reminding yourself where you started and where you're at now. You really won't quit, because you see that sometimes it takes small steps to get to where you are. And it's crazy, like some businesses go like from first day to 2 years and make maybe like $6,000, and then from year 2 to year 3 they'll make $100,000,
Yeah.
But because they stayed consistent, like you think about it like this. I think we spoke about this before, but like you'll have someone where they like just think about it like this, somebody digging,
Oh.
So if you ever read Think and Grow Rich. You ever heard that book?
No. So I need to start reading books.
Dude, that's a great book. So I
need to be like that Lamborghini guy. He's like, I'm here in my garage.
Here in my garage.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I read a book a day.
Yeah. So I'm
that was that other guy who invested. Bro, it was like an ad, bro.
I can't think of his name.
Bro, he's like, I'm here in my garage with my Lamborghini.
Like yeah. But I'm gonna give a Think and Grow Rich. But in the book, in the early stages of the book, it was talking about this guy. They were like oring gold during the gold rush, and he had pinpointed this area. He pinpointed this area where this gold ore that could make his family rich. So he bought this machine, and he bought the machine. They tried to go take the ore up, but they were like literally a few feet off. And from what he pinpointed, he went and sold his stuff to this dude. So the dude bought all his stuff, went out, found the ore. And sometimes that's how life is for us. Like we will dig for so long, and we have our own timetable. And it could be one day after our timetable that we hit that goal that we need, but
you stop before.
We'll quit because our time it didn't meet our timetable.
So you had that time where you were about to quit. Did someone kind of like change your mind, help you do that?
So I wouldn't necessarily say I was about to quit, but it's just like I get very discouraged and I'm like, I'm just finna take a break on it, But one of my best friends, Solo, he has a clothing brand too, which I'm wearing this piece of love.
Oh,
but
nice.
So we help each other all the time, like we'll just write each other like, yo, this ain't working, bro. Like I'm getting pissed off, and then we'll just talk to each other like, yo, it happens like that sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
And most of the time, it's literally something to do with customs, you know. Nine out of our 10 gripes are something to do with customs, you know, because it's like they either sending it to the wrong place or they're taking forever.
And that stuff is like, I need it.
Oh, bro, I need it so bad, you know. Like
I don't want to lose it, and I need it now.
Yeah, so you know, like you just got to keep digging. That's all it is, you know, because it's essentially it can be that one thing you bring to your store, man. It could be that one thing you bring to the store that everybody just go crazy over.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever seen this. It's a chick. She was on Twitter. She opened a business. First day, made $1 million.
It's just like it's just the right wave you catch, and it's like, I feel that's pretty crazy. And like you brought up that it was the Minecraft thing I brought up because I mean, so like people who play Minecraft, like you be strip mining, so diamond spawns at a certain y-axis of the world, and so like what people usually do instead of like it's a strategy to find it, but you just dig straight for miles and eventually you'll run into some. And so like you'll do it for miles and over a lot of hours, and then you won't find any. And so like that's you turn around, you go back home in the game, and it's like that next block could have been a diamond. And that's what some people would be like, nah, keep going, because you never know, like you're right there, watch.
It happened like that for real.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. So an overview of some of the important advice for a business. You said to print to sell. Do you have like a specific website that you kind of use already? Well,
I use Shopify, and they have apps inside of Shopify that you can use for print on demand apps. Yeah.
Okay, so print to sell. You can look at Shopify. Having separate bank accounts is very important to keep reinvesting into your business until you are very profitable, and then you can start paying yourself. And then don't get discouraged. Be confident and keep pushing, because you never know. It should be a passion.
For sure.
Yeah. And that's how you stay focused. Is a passion. If you want it, you got to reach for it. I mean, I think I've said this on previous episodes plenty of times already, but me and my team here, we wanted this podcast. We did our research. We bought the equipment. We reached out for others for help, because some of the equipment here is not mine. I mean, that's Burks' camera right there. So it's like, it's all about just asking, and people are willing to help you. Just always be sure to give that thanks back, because people are helping you out. For sure. Any closing remarks on that, on your brand? Anything else you want to say? Like,
that should be it, man. But hey, support your boy.
Yeah.
And if you see me around, say what's up.
We'll plug in the Instagram again, but I just wanted to take a little intermission break because one of our teammates here, Courtney, would like to share an important message. So we'll see you right after this.
Hello, I'm Courtney. Make sure you follow all of our socials, where you can leave comments, questions, and suggestions. You can find us on Facebook at KMC First 4. Also listen to us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcast at After Duty Hours. If you want to see our podcast on another platform, please let us know. Now back to the show with Renee and Dre.
Thank you, Courtney, for the message. We're going to get back to it with Dre. We have the next segment. It's going to be some of the questions that some people have sent in. A few of them were from me, and then a few of them for some of the viewers, and then a few from our team as well. Okay. So what is your stand on bodybuilding, CrossFit, and weightlifting?
Okay. I think they're all different, you know. Bodybuilding is more of like it's tailored toward more like focusing on specific areas to grow those, you know, and it's kind of like more like art, CrossFit.
Is that the one that you would consider yourself in?
Yeah, so I'm actually working in bodybuilding now to try to compete one day. So that's just my goal, try to compete. So they're all different, CrossFit. I could never do CrossFit. It's too much.
It's extreme.
But I think the people that do CrossFit are insane athletes, though.
Oh,
so, like,
for sure.
They're insane. Like, I see the stuff they're doing, and I'm like, yo, like
their oxygen levels must be like,
oh my goodness,
200%.
I probably died like insane. I had a boy in Korea. He used to always ask me to do CrossFit, and I'd be like, okay, I'll do it with you. And I had no intention in my mind to do it because I thought if I did it, I wouldn't wake up the next day. So they're insane athletes. Like I do watch CrossFit games on YouTube sometimes, and just to see the stuff they do. Like they'll do like a mile bike ride and then come back and then run a mile and then do like all these pull-ups and push-ups and burpees and stuff.
And then cleans.
Oh my goodness,
everything.
Bro. So I think CrossFit is just the test of endurance. Weightlifting. I'm saying different types of weightlifting. Maybe powerlifting. I know powerlifting is structured mostly. Powerlifting is structured mostly for your squat, bench, and deadlift. So your whole objective is just like to work on your technique, your form, and just move weight. So they all have different areas of focus, but I think they're all, if you put enough effort into any one of them, they can be very beneficial to you.
So you're planning to compete? Like what was in there? Scuba Steve?
That's my dog. Scuba Steve, that's my dog.
He recently posted me, man. I saw the picture. He was all the tan. He was sitting. Shout out Scuba Steve, man.
So he
hope you doing well.
He's in the States, and me and him talk a lot, so even when this is my guy for real though. And it's crazy because I remember when I was in the States recently at my parents' house, I went to a point, where I was like, man, I don't even know if I want to like do bodybuilding, just in my own head, so I prayed about it, Next day, out of nowhere, Scuba Steve hits me up, he's like, bro, how you doing? And I'm like, man, I'm doing okay. I'm thinking about not competing. He was like, why? So I told him why. He was like, bro,
the atmosphere there is the real gym culture life.
Yeah, it is. And he was like, bro, you do, he you got everything, you work so hard and stuff like that. He was like, don't quit, So that go back to that point about encouragement too, Scoop Steve, my dog, like that's a brother. That's a brother for real. Man. Yeah, that's a brother for real, and like he just made sure I focused in on what I have been doing, and where I'm trying to go and get back to it, So
he been locked in.
Oh, that dude been locked in. For real,
he been locked in.
He killing it for real. I'm so proud of him, And so like he went on a point, where he was like, yo, I'm not gonna be on social media for a minute, so he did, and he just sent me his number. He was like, yo, I probably need some encouragement, So I just write him every now and then, or he'll write me, we just stay in touch like that. So he real good people,
That's good, man. Next question: do you have any sponsorships or major supports with starting your business? And if so, how did you go about getting them?
So really no major support, no major funding starting it. Like crazy support though. Like I remember
from friends and family.
I met some people, from that first photo shoot we did. Some of the people that were there, I had just met them then, So
really?
So
dang, I thought you knew all the people.
I knew some of them.
He bought the whole gang.
Yeah. So two or three of them I didn't know. They just came along, And so it been crazy support in the States, UK, here, Like I got people that are like affiliates for me in the States, and I recently got an affiliate in the UK. She pretty dope, So I just reached out to her, asked her, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I'd be honored to do it," So people do support it like crazy. Even around here, people share stuff all the time, So that the support goes a long way. But just like funding it, I had to fund it myself. So that's why I said like try to do, if you don't have the funds, try to do print on demand because that'll help you a little bit.
Yeah. So I know how much you love zebra cakes, and you're a sweet tooth.
Yeah, a sweet tooth for sure.
Yeah. Fun fact, I actually haven't had any candy, and I've only been drinking water since my birthday, October 23rd.
That's good, bro. Yeah, that's good.
And like I was supposed to be working out this whole entire time, but like I'm glad I haven't gave in. I haven't ate chips. I haven't ate like candy because I have a lot of those. Man, what are those high chews? Man, those are so
my
good.
My daughter loves those. Yeah,
man, I can finish a whole bag seriously.
My daughter loves
but those. Only water. But we have a little gift for you. It's behind the. Now look, I know what you're gonna say. The other one's at your desk, which I cannot get you.
Oh wow, strawberry cheesecake.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not gonna eat all these, But I think
this leads into our question. Like, obviously, I don't think these would affect you, because I've seen you eat zebra cakes at work, and it's like you're kind of displaying it's okay to have, a lenient type of diet and still be fit and healthy.
I think it depends on more what you're trying to do. If you're trying to compete and stuff,
then you have to
you have to be very strict, because.
But if you're being casual,
if it's just like you want to live a healthy everyday life, it's okay for you to throw a snack in every now and then. Yeah. Because I think if you're not trying to compete or something, you know, and if you limit yourself to like not having some sweet, it kind of makes
how many of these? There's 8 bags, so it should, let's say 8 days.
Yeah, there's 8 days. You need one of those a day, you know, because it at least make you have you something to look forward to. You know, but like if you planning to compete, it's kind of like different because you know you get to those last few weeks and you're trying to cut down as much fat as you can, you know, and
it goes down to like water tension. It's just like all these other factors that you have to do to your body to make sure it looks
as lean and as dry as possible, you know. So you know, like I think it depends on what you do. Like I spoke with my supervisor and I was talking to him about I told him I can do a plan for him because I was like, if anybody in our section at the time want to do a body, like not bodybuilding, but like a workout plan or something, because I've done workout plans for a few people or meal plans for a few people in our flight, you know. And I'm like, yo, I'm willing to help, you know, but you don't have to necessarily like cut out the things you like. Like if you like ice cream, cool. Like if you eat clean for the whole day and you work out, like reward yourself with a bowl of ice cream. Like I would say like 2 or 3 scoops, but don't go get a whole paint.
In moderation,
yeah,
it's very important. I remember like. There was a fast food hack that I looked at, and he was like, bro, if you go to Subway, just order these stuff, and then whenever you get the foot long, get the bread on the other half, put everything onto that half one, throw the other half away. And I'm like, I mean, that's kind of wasting, but I see where he's getting at. You know what I'm saying?
You cut some carbs, you know?
Yeah.
So like for me, I love sweet, so I saw C-Bomb. So C-Bomb was, I watched the video of C-Bomb. He was 2 weeks before his for Miss Olympia. And one thing he did, he made his own ice cream, you know? And it was just like some cinnamon swirl protein powder and some ice and water, which I probably use a little bit of milk because I love like the thickness of it. Yeah. But he did that, and that was like his ice cream, you know? He just froze it. And I was like, yo, that's crazy because it's really only like protein, you know? So I'm like, oh, that's good, you know? Like I can try stuff like that, you know, because I do love my sweets. And my alternative now is I just don't buy sweets at home. So like only time I buy sweets is when my daughter's coming over and I buy just enough for her to have while she's over those 2-3 days, you know? Yeah. And then I don't have any for the rest of the time, you know? That's my alternative.
So yeah, just depending on where you want to be is if you're just still trying to enjoy your life, just be consistent at the gym and just take your sweets or the junk food in moderation and you should be fine.
You should be good, yeah.
Yeah. And then for people competing, I mean, I guess you don't have a choice, but I know C.T. Fletcher, whenever I was on that diet and it had to become like a lifestyle, I think I went on a diet 4 months straight clean. Yeah. Like I was eating the chicken, jasmine rice, and a cup of vegetables, which was either spinach, baby spinach, or broccoli, or I think asparagus. It was one of the and then salmon. I did 6 ounces of salmon sometimes. But yeah, I was listening to C.T. Fletcher. I mean, he says a lot of crazy words, but he was like, he was motivating me. He was like, man, you're not dieting for taste. You're dieting for the results that dieting is going to get you. Yeah. And then he tells you some words. He tells you to shut up and eat that, whatever. If you know, you know. Yeah. But yeah, one time I used to actually ran out of time. So I worked at Buc-ee's, so shout out to everybody who knows Buc-ee's is. That beaver lives everywhere, man. I see stickers over here at the VX, at the pole. I'm like, man, this guy's everywhere. Established in Texas, so again, shout out to Texas. But I used to work there, and that place used to be so busy, and whenever you got hired, you kind of signed the contract. So, I mean, you could have looked at it, but if you're not signing it, you're not getting hired. So do I really have a choice to whatever? So I signed my life away. So you don't get breaks, you get moments. So like it was 5 minutes, and like you're not even guaranteed a moment. Yeah. So if it's busy, ain't nobody going anywhere. Yeah. And so like at times where I was just so tired of getting up earlier, because I worked like the day shift, so I would used to, after I get home at 10 or 11 p.m., I used to stay up till like 4 a.m. Yeah. Because I thought I was tired, but when I got home, I got the zoomies just hit me out of nowhere.
It's always like that.
Yeah. So I used to play like Call of Duty Blackout when it came out, but so I didn't feel like cooking when I got up. So like I would get up like an hour in 30 minutes before work started, and it was just a repeating process. And so I would put that baby spinach in a Ziploc bag, and like I would be eating that stuff like it was chips. And it was like so bad. Like at some point when I was just straight eating that for a long time, like my body did not like it anymore. But yeah, this is a little funny story. I was just like, man, it was so bad. I mean, in the moment, like I don't even have time to eat. That's why I said I was just eating them like chips, like I was starving. But yeah, next question. Now I know this podcast, we're not gonna kind of like mention rank, we're leaving that at the door, but I'm gonna talk about a section of the Air Force. You got the junior enlisted, the NCO, and the senior NCO. So this question is kind of based on what your position is. Are there times you find it hard separating Dre from your NCO position, or do they kind of like fuse together, like at work?
I think they're more together, because I think I try to be myself regardless, because if people can rely on you being you, they have more. They're more likely to trust who you are, So like most people know me, I think I kind of take like most of my lifestyle is gym, daughter. That's it, So it has a certain type of value. So I try to take those values to work, But of course, at times, I have to alter and depend on what the situation is,
Yeah.
Like of course, as an NCO, I have to be more professional at times too. You
Yeah.
know? And like I mentioned earlier, like my whole thing is just to make sure that my airmen can trust me, But if they know the real me, and it doesn't sway from when I get to work versus who I am outside of work, I think they're more likely to trust me and believe that I can do what I'm supposed to do for them,
Yeah. It's like the junior enlisted airmen. I mean, their direct supervisors fall into the NCO position. So it's like whenever it's like them trusting you, and whenever you have that trust and you're like kind of, telling them what to do, but like, not like, putting the foot down or whatever, but like telling them that you need this to get done, they're more likely to get it done because they have that respect for you.
Yeah.
And they're more they work more proficiently, and they get the job done. So it's like for the junior enlisted airmen, kind of, getting ready to make that next step into that next section of rank, the NCO positions. When it comes to, let me say, treating the airmen, is it important to treat them all the same, but at the same not treat them all the same? And what I mean is, you still have to hold a standard that they're all on. Like obviously you can't be getting DUIs, or you can't be showing up late to work. Like you can't give an airman a special treatment and be like, oh, he was late 5 times but nothing happened to him, but to this airman he was late 1 time, so let's give him an LOC. But at the same time, hold it to them same standards, but realize that they're each individually different from each other. So you have to talk to them a certain way.
I think one thing we have to understand is just like knowing the person, like knowing our airmen and stuff like that.
So that's how important is that? Like,
I think is the most important, because if you don't know who you're dealing with, how do you know how to deal with them?
Yeah.
So like it could be one of your airmen. Maybe your airman did come in 5 times late, but why is he or she coming in 5 times late?
Yeah,
5 or 10 times late. Like, are you having that discussion?
There must be something going on.
Yeah, are you having that discussion? And if we don't do like, especially like feedbacks and stuff, like people not doing their feedbacks and they not honoring the feedback, and they're not being like open and for real in the feedbacks. Like we need to know what our airmen,
not feeling rushed.
Yeah, not feeling rushed. Like take your time, but we need to know like what are the issues our airmen are dealing with, because we all came from different places. We all think different ways, But like you got to think about it. A lot of people always talk about the airmen are different these days, And maybe they are different, but are we trying to figure out why they're different? Like for me, like I mentioned before, is like we got CDCs in our career field, and I know we have times where airmen don't pass the CDCs, and a lot of people be like, oh, when I was an airman, CDCs were easy, But one thing that people tend to forget about is like the new CDCs they have now, like they have ASC certifications. Like, so I don't know, like if you ever took an ASC certification, things are extremely hard, These are
they all look like the right answer. No, they all do. Like for real, they all look like they all have to do with the question, because you can kind of decipher. Oh, that has nothing to do with brakes, so that's not the answer. Yeah. But this one is like
different, because the whole book is about one thing, And you got to think about it. Like ASC certifications are what people are getting certified to be like working in like certified shops in the United States,
Yeah.
So you think about it, like these airmen, they got our old CDCs plus these ASC certification CDCs. So they have very far in depth learning experience that they have to go through, Not to mention there's more information. So you think about it like this, like maybe I had the potential to have 200 questions when I was going through CDCs, but I only get 100 of those. Like these airmen now have the potential to get 1,500 questions in their CDCs, and they only get 100 of them. So you're telling me like, like they have to learn more information, and they getting the same test quality that we getting on 100 questions, So I think it's important to see like, okay, take that into account because we do got to have some grace for like how things change, It takes a lot of grace for stuff like that,
Especially because like people learn different.
They
like
do.
what happened to, I forgot those 3 things. It's like hands-on, you learn by just like visual.
Audio, visual.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like so every person is different.
Yeah.
Like what if that person who's selling is failing CDCs but is actually a good mechanic?
Yeah, facts.
No,
yeah.
I mean, I can see where that would look weird. It's like if you're a great mechanic, you should know the answer.
It's possible though. It's very possible.
Yeah,
I've seen
but
it.
it's
I've seen it. And it's just like it's times that I feel like
not a good test taker, but you're good at the job.
good at your job, And I think sometimes CDC kind of like they don't give a clear picture, like
The potential.
Yeah, the potential. Like if my job is to work, like think about it like this, man. It's some stuff I'm an NCO, and some stuff in the CDCs I don't know,
Yeah.
But if you tell me to go work on it a couple times, like dude, I can get this down to my, down to the T,
Yeah.
Me, I was a loader mechanic, man. Like I learned so much. I learned nothing from the CDCs. I learned nothing from the CDC. But me going in the shop every day and wanting to learn like how to be, because my whole goal was like, I want to be the best in my shop, And essentially I got to that point, like where I was the best loader mechanic in my shop, but it because I wanted that. I didn't care about the CDCs, And I think that like NCOs need to take more of a role into trying to get to and like know these airmen and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think
How to
that's
train them.
yeah, how to train them. Like, you don't have to be buddy with them, but knowing what's going on. Like, man, I got a team, and I think I got a relationship with everyone on my team, And I tell my guys too, like, I tell everyone on my team, I'm like, if you have an issue with me, please tell me, because sometimes I don't see stuff how I should see it, Maybe I'll see it this way you see it, and or maybe we both just confused, or maybe you confused and I just need to explain what I'm doing, further. But I think a lot of time we got NCOs that like want to be huncho NCOs, but what people don't realize is, okay, if I'm an NCO and I got 6 airmen on my team, and I still got to do all these additional things like admin stuff, who's doing the work for me? My airmen. So why not build a relationship with my airmen so my airmen can trust me? My airmen feel safe around me. My airmen feel encouraged by me. So my airmen are more likely to take care of the mission so I can take care of the other admin thing. I think a lot of people forget about that, because it's a team effort. Like, sure, the airmen are younger. I don't think that airmen are dumb because they rank less than me. Maybe they less proficient on military things, but maybe they more proficient on other things that we can use in the military to make the military better, or maybe they more proficient on the actual job. Maybe they don't know,
and you don't know that until you get
to know them. So I think like a lot of people need to get in their head like, we as NCOs it's our job to mold, It's our job to mold young airmen to be one day NCOs, But I think people getting away from it so much and trying to mold people and trying to help people positively. A lot of people just go to work and try to demean who people are, stuff like that,
Yeah.
Like of course there's a lot of things going on, a lot of change, but we gotta be able to adapt to change.
Yeah.
We gotta be able to.
Seriously, kudos. Like, I mean, I know I'm 27 and I have peers that are, maybe 5 or even younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see them any different.
Yeah.
But it's important for us to know, like those NCOs that are doing a great job in that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have to thank him in a way, because like it's not easy.
Yeah,
I know it's not easy.
It's not, believe me.
Because it's like you're responsible for other people. It's like just as you're responsible for your own daughter, you're responsible for your airmen.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not on the same
It's
type of
a
level.
different level, yeah, but it's
the same thing.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, man, I think that's just super important to get to know your airmen.
So I think people should take it to this aspect, like who your airman is kind of like a reflection of you. It kind of like that. Like who your airman is a reflection of you. Like of course you every now and then you get a trouble airman, but every airman is not trouble. maybe you get like 1 out of 7 in trouble, but if you got 7 trouble airmen, it's probably you and not the airman, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like what are you doing to, you know, because me, maybe I haven't had a lot of trouble airmen. Like I really haven't, you know. I'm grateful for that too, you know, like maybe a couple here and there, but not even like trouble where they're like, you know, like going out doing insanely crazy stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe to the point, you know, like
getting a phone call.
Yeah.
Be like, oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I think sometimes too, like I know I catch myself too sometimes, like putting stuff on the back end and forgetting, like, I won't say necessarily communicating, but like sometimes passing information down. Like, you know, we expect a lot from airmen sometimes, but sometimes we don't get them the information they need to like succeed, you know?
Yeah.
Like I tell my team too, like we gonna volunteer and all this stuff too. Like, and then not even to the point where like I want them to volunteer for like bullets or anything. I want them to volunteer so they see like things outside of just themselves, you know?
Yeah.
Like give that time.
Make the world bigger.
Because like I said, my faith has grown a lot too. And one of the questions that always comes up is like, how can we serve others? You know? So that's why I think about like too, like when I got work center expectations specifically for my team, you know? And even like some people that other people have hard with, I just take a walk with them like, yo, what can I do to serve you? Like what can I do for you? Because I know you probably don't want to be in, but what can I do to help you, you know, like get to where you want to be or stay in, you know?
Yeah. And that's like the supervisor role kind of. It's like if your airman doesn't have the tools to succeed, that's where you step in.
Yeah.
And you won't know if they need anything if you're not actively communicating, you know, between y'all two. And, you know, a lot is kind of asked of NCOs because that is, once you go further than that, I'm not saying senior NCOs or even the officers can't connect with the airmen well, but it's like junior enlisted is right next to NCO.
Yeah.
So it's like those two are connected.
Yeah.
And once you start going further up, you know, the chain, you kind of lose that sentimental like connection level that you can have with the airmen because y'all are probably in different workstations. It's like you can't really take that time to do it anymore.
But I also want to say to you senior airmen, you're literally the most important people in the chain, the senior airman arc, because you know, like you think about it like this, when you have a new A1C come in, you know, like think about it like this. So you A1C, we'll say this box is a senior airman and I'm an NCO, you know. If I'm telling you to do something, you thinking about it as an authoritative stage, you know, like, oh, this person outranks me, you know. But when you see senior airmen, of course they outrank you, but you think of them more as a peer, you know.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's important to like
build that respect level. That way I don't see it.
But it's also is important for NCOs to build that respect with the senior airmen too. So the senior airman knows what the NCOs are expecting, so he or she can relay that in a way where it doesn't seem so authoritative. It seems like, okay, as a peer to peer, you know, like, okay, I look up to the senior airman because I'm gonna be a senior airman soon. So if he or she is telling me this, you know, maybe it's more true. Maybe I should listen to it more like that. So, but it's also the key for us as NCOs to tell this senior airman what he or she is expected to do, you know. Because it gets back to the Little Brown Book, but I think a lot of people get away from the Little Brown Book, you know. So we need to, as NCO, we need to go through the senior NCO, need to go through the Brown Book and tell us the expectations of NCOs, and then we tell it to the senior airman so he or she can pass it down to the rest of the junior enlisted, you know. So senior airmen are very important, you know. Yeah. And like they used to have a book sergeant stuff, it was a very important role, you know, but they took that away, but still senior airmen are so important, you know. And they had an E4 Mafia, you know, which is hilarious because I was a part of the E4 Mafia before.
I remember I joined a Facebook. And I think I joined the wrong one because they were like wild.
Yeah. So that's how E4 Mafia started, more of a rebellion, though. But I think it's because E4s weren't getting the due respect that they needed at the time, you know. Yeah. So they do deserve a lot of respect because, you know, like they do have that they're at the threshold. Yeah, they had most of the influence over the junior enlisted airmen. So you senior airmen, you are very important, you know, and you need to take on that role and try to be that leader, you know. But if you don't have that guidance you need, reach out to get that guidance, you know. Your NCOs and your senior NCOs should be trying to develop you to be that still a senior airman, so you can take hold of where you are and help develop them younger. So, you know, so I remember my first. Sorry to cut you off. No. I remember my first time here. I was a staff, and I had airman. He's an NCO now. Tristan Davis. Yeah. He was a senior airman at the time, and people were so gravitated to him. So I used to always tell him, like, yo, you got so much influence, you know, like, so if you go work on the shop floor, these guys will go work on the shop floor, you know. And that's the importance of having that senior airman, because of me, when I was a staff, if I tell somebody to do it, they like, oh, I got to do this now because Sergeant Field told me to do this, you know. But if they see their that fellow airman working, they be like, oh, I got to do this, you know. So take that lead, senior airman.
Yeah. Pretty important stuff. Like, I mean, if you could take away from any of this, especially like junior enlisted airmen listening, important stuff to develop. Leadership and your humility. Most important stuff getting into that NCO position is you understand leadership and you have humility, and you can still reach down to that airman level on a compassionate level. Last questions we have. I want to ask where you traveled so far. I would say like name 5 places, and out of those 5 places, what is your favorite one of those and why?
Okay. 5 places I travel. So I would say PP Island, Thailand, Dubrovnik, Croatia, Porto, Portugal. Been to Serbia.
Yeah.
And I've been to Greece.
Yeah.
My favorite, probably Thailand.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Is that that's the what they call the gym locations where it's like a hidden gym or whatever?
Oh yeah, they're like a hidden gym for sure. Yeah. I would say it's a hidden gym. Some people do know about PP, but most people go to like Bangkok or what it is, Patio. That's the party place. Most people go there. So, but if you go to PP Island,
it just depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah, it depends on what you're looking for. But this is more like relaxation. Like
a vacation.
Dude, it's insane. The clearest water I ever seen. And it's crazy because at night the tides go in, so the water goes so far away from the beach. And it comes back in the day. But I think that was one of my favorite places I've been to. It was so relaxing. So it was cheap too, man.
What do they have? What kind of things did you do?
So I went on a boat ride. Like an 8-hour boat ride. And you
8 hours.
Dang. Dude, it's insane. But you stop at like
that's 7. Like 2.5 gym sessions for you.
I know, right? You stop at like 6 locations though.
Yeah.
And like it's like Monkey Beach. Monkey Beach is crazy. You get off the boat, you go to
monkeys.
These monkeys are crazy, bro. Like
they like humans, bro.
Oh yeah.
Like...
you can't show up with any food, but they gonna take it. Yeah. So
plotting and scheming, they're like this guy.
Like they crazy. So you stop at Monkey Beach. It's like one place from a movie, the beach with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
So the place that he
That's the movie name?
Yeah, The Beach, I think.
I was thinking about Shutter Island. That was the other movie with him. I haven't watched Shutter Island though.
Oh yeah. But yeah, it's
pretty cool.
Yeah, and then you get they got one place where you go snorkeling. So it's pretty dope. So it's like low tide and you see all the fish.
Yeah, were you like, was it like, snorkeling is you just kind of floating above?
Floating in the water, yeah.
Okay.
So I did that, pretty cool. And yeah, it was pretty dope, man. Yeah. And they cook for you on the boat, so it was nice.
See, that sounds like a vacation. Some people go on vacation to get tired.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
No, I ain't like they tired.
they like party all, like, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing, but they party the whole time they're there. And then when they go home, they're like, I need a vacation for my vacation. I was like,
That used to be me when I was my first time here. Like when I was a young A1C, I was always broke because I was always traveling. Oh man, it was crazy.
I mean, but you made memories. So.
Yeah, the memories were way more.
That
important.
money ain't gonna stay with you
whenever
you know.
Facts. Big facts. Yeah, so I did make some great memories, man. Like I got since being in the Air Force, I got the opportunity, which is crazy because before I joined the Air Force, never left the United States. Then I joined the Air Force, and then I've been in 10 years, and I've traveled 32 countries. So. It's been great, So I did 22 years of not traveling outside of the United States, and then I go join the military for 10 years, and I travel.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, it's insane. So I would say, please take the opportunity to get out, travel somewhere. Look up somewhere to go and enjoy it. Like even if you like the beach, go. Yeah. There are even beaches close, like maybe in the Netherlands, or if you're close to Germany, the Netherlands. You don't have to go too far. You can drive there, but. Get out and do something, explore something. Maybe it's a castle. Yeah. Germany, I found out the other day, Germany got like 20,000 castles.
That's crazy.
That is insane. So go see a castle, spend time with people, get out, get some vitamin D. We all need vitamin D. Yeah. It's good for our immune system.
When the clouds go away.
Yeah, when the clouds go away. You only got maybe a month.
Yeah.
That's a month. Month window. So get you some vitamin D in that month,
Yeah. You love food.
Mm-hmm.
I love food. I want to ask you, what has been your favorite food so far that you've discovered while you've been traveling?
Oh, while I've been traveling?
Everybody knows what I'm going to say. I'm going to say donor. But I know there's better stuff. I just had to plug that in. Shout out donor time, man.
I don't know, man. One of my favorite places I've been eating, I went to Belgium, and they got this it's an Argentinian steakhouse. But it's like a buffet. So You go there, you pay like 30-some euro,
and you make it worth it.
Dude, they come out with these rolls, best rolls I ever had. Like, bro, I'm saying I love Texas Roadhouse rolls, but these rolls are different.
Yeah.
Like but they keep coming out with they come out with they take it right off the grill. And they come out with pork, they come out with steak, they come out with chicken.
Dang.
Like different types of pork, different types of chicken.
Dang, how they make that money? $30.
Bro, it's insane. It's so good, you know. But how they do it, they play it smart though. They feed you fries and rolls first.
Yeah,
so,
that's usually how it goes.
They feed you fries and rolls first. So you got
the Olive Garden unlimited breadsticks.
Yes, but it's so fire though.
Yeah.
So I plan to go back there again. You know, it's amazing. Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, we'll move into the closing remarks. We want to ask, do you have anything that you want to close out, for the podcast?
Oh, I appreciate y'all having me. I hope you all get some valuable information from this episode, And if you ever see me around, say what's up. If you got any questions, say what's up, It don't matter what it is, just say what's up and ask me the question. I'm cool. Very social person, very approachable, so yeah, we good. Yeah, I appreciate y'all having me on.
Yeah, man, it was a pleasure. Thanks, Dre. Man, I really did appreciate you having here. I think you've definitely displayed what we're aiming for on this podcast. And I want to plug this in, and I do want to mention it. Shout out again, big thank you to my team. The two people behind the camera. We got Courtney and we got Marcy. Really big help. I'm telling you, I can't express this enough. This would not be happening without them. They support me so much and they sacrifice for me. So really, I just want to plug them up and say really appreciate it. I can't express it enough. Before we end, calling to action. Sorry if you don't like that, but I want to let you know that our next guest is going to be somebody who has dedicated their time and effort against the AADD program that we have here on base, the Armed Forces Against Drunk Driving. So if you want to send any questions based on just knowing that, we will take those and we will ask them for you on here. But other than that, I think that's about it. I appreciate you for tuning in to the episode 3 of After Duty Hours, and we'll be sure to catch you next time. Thank you so much.